Hey all, I'm gonna do a quick video about crewing for these Krenim solos. These are two-man invasion solo, not armada armadas. Okay, so they are over here. Sorry, those are the formations. These are the solos. They are over here, and you'll bring two ships, and I'm gonna give you some rough strategies on how to crew for them, and what to look out for and stuff like that. Right, so the basic thing is going to be most people. Um, we're we're looking here. I'll just quickly go. What you're doing these for is for the DTI faction shop. It's this. You're trying to get as much of the charged loot and the static loot that you can then max pull on these every day. Where are they now? It's these things every day, and you really want to max pull them because one chest is I think one chest is like X amount. Four chests is only twice the one chest cost. So you want to be pulling four chests, costs double, but gives you four times as much. And in order to that, you want to be punching as high as you can. And in order to punch as high as you can, it's a couple of things you're going to want, right? First off, you're going to want to be pulling your requisition forms. These are going to give you your uh, exocomps. Sure, most people know how to use these, but now you use the exocomp out of the comp. You go to combat exocomp. You use the one that you're going to use, and then you kill that one. You go, okay, I'm low on charged loot today. Cool, I'm gonna kill some charged ones. This is a great use for your daily Titan buff. If you can find a max fort, we've got lots of people in the alliance that are often saying, hey, I'm going to max fort here, I'm going to max fort here, and I often see them, not, there's plenty of spots their Titans can still, you know fort more people. Look out for that. And of course, you're going to be wanting to use both. You're wanting to be use Cerato's buff on both ships. Okay, shooting up on these is very important because, as I said, pulling one chest costs X amount, 2x gives you four times the loot. So it's really important that you can pull that. That's going to then allow you to. Wrong one. That's going to allow you to then uh, go to this DTI store and basically get all the things that you want. You want your formation directive, you want your rep, you want um, your whatever it is. And I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who doesn't have a relativity. If you do, this video probably isn't for you. Maybe it is. I don't know. I can't say. Um, so yeah, that said, at least for those. In fact, actually, no, this video is good for people even who have relativities because I will show you how to do the what you're going to be wanting to do is you're going to be wanting to take one ship, which is your strongest ship, because everyone has one strongest ship, and the other ships aren't so strong. Is you're going to want to support that ship. So you're going to have your strong ship with the strongest crew, and then you're going to have a secondary ship. Now, there's two ways to do this. If you have two equally strong strong ships, right, then you're going to sort of be wanting to crew something like, um, yeah. Well, before I go into that, you're going to need there is the basics of crewing. So what you want to do first is you want to reach your 100% crit chance as much as possible, and this is going to come from three sources, right? These are the three sources. You're going to get 22% off your on your ship, and one of the if everyone doesn't have 22% by now, over here, then you need to go and grab the prime, which is, I'm sure everyone has got 22%. I'm sure. It's combat prime, gives 10% crit chance. Cool. That 22%. Now you're going to add your Titan buff, your Cerritos buff, and your Lorca passive. Hopefully everyone has Lorca by now. We've had many invasions. You unlock him super fast through there. Alright, so you get, sorry about that, so you get 20% from Lorca's strike. And this is from applying when your opponent has a status effect, and we're going to talk about the status effect and how supporting ships are going to do this. You're going to get 20% from him. You're going to get 30% from your Cerritos buff, and you're going to get 30% from your Titan buff. You know, as these are the researches that you should be focusing on. Once you have the most important research will be to Titan trigger. After that, it must be odds beta. This gives you critical chance, and after that, it should be Titan fortune. Those are the main three things. If you're spending your points on other stuff first, you're gimping your progress. You're losing power. Get yourself max of these. Okay. Now you want to sort of, cool. You've got, maybe you don't have max of those, you're working towards it. Okay, so if you don't have all of those maxed, you need to add critical hit chance to both ships. Critical hit chance is going to come from two sources. One, I'm going to set up two ships here. One, it's going to be from Khan, and the second one is going to be from Vial. So what you're looking at is, let's empty this out, is you want to have critical hit chance on both ships. So we're going to put Vial here, and we're going to put Khan on this one. Cool. Now that critical hit chance is sorted, and you'll see this is the checklist, and this will teach you, I know it's going to be a bit long, but it's going to sort of teach you basics of crewing. It's a checklist. Okay, now what we need is we need to have mitigation on each ship, right? So I'm going to put on this one, and I'm putting on this one the below deck officers, because I'm going to make this my main ship. This is your strongest ship, alright, and I'm going to be using as much power on the top as possible. The second ship is supporting this ship. Alright, so we need mitigation. We're going to get Paris on this ship. Cool. Mitigation done here. This ship, we're going to get 5 of 11. Cool. Now, assuming that you are managing to get to your max crit with that, which is fine. Now we're going to assume that we're good on max crit, and we're going to be working our way up there. There are two crews which I believe are equally as strong to do on these ships, and I would suggest you can try them both and decide which one works for you. One might be stronger because of officer levels, one not. The two crews are this. I'm going to crew my support ship. All right. So if you are using an explorer here, what you're going to be wanting to do now is you're going to be wanting to look at your levels in your Nova Squadron research. So you want it. This isolytic damage is all very important. This is where you should be putting points. Cool. And you're wanting to be now proccing all of these things. So if your main ship is an explorer, that's fine. Leave it. If your main ship is a battleship, here you're going to want to either add Nero, or if you've got a highly tiered Giorgio, that's even better. If your Giorgio isn't highly tiered, put Nero there. If your main ship is a Pylum, as a lot of you guys will be, or another interceptor, get yourself Gorkon there. Or if you've got a high level Lorca, tier 4 or 5, put Lorca there. Cool. Then, now I'm going to show you the two crews that you can run. I've tested them. They're both very similar in power. Okay, first one is going to be Gwen with Picard and Bev, and they are boosting our Gwen. Alright, the other crew is this. Tolra, and then we're going to use Pike to boost them both. What I would suggest for you guys at the beginning is, because you might not have tiers in them, you might, to make it easy, grab Picard, Bev, Gwen, and then on this ship, I would actually just put Tolra there. If you're not going to use Tolra on the first one, use Tolra on this one. Cool. And you're going to look like that. Then for your below decks, this is sort of like as you wish, right? So a 511 doesn't offer the most, is 200%. So give yourself 2 very high health stat officers to get your mitigation up. Alright. Then we're going to go to our primary ship. And now we're going to see what damage we can add into our primary ship. Now remember, our secondary ship is going to be supporting this, so we don't need to put procs on this ship. We can put the procs on the other ship, things like BLT, etc. But for this, we want to have damage. So if we're going to look here, we're going to see where we can find some source of damage. I'll put some hull repair, but that's not a massive deal. Things like Nelex, things like BLT, they can go on the second ship. For this one, we'll put Odo gives us crit damage, and Detroit gives us crit damage. You get the idea, right? And let's give ourselves 1 defense officer to reach good level of mitigation. Cool. You don't need that, this, if you only got that spots, if you only have 4 spots, something like that. Cool. Then what's left here, we go below deck. This is where our procs can be, so we can put our burning here, we can put our hull breach here, and then that's how we set it up. And then that is how you can set up your crews for maximum damage against the Krenim solo armadas. Remember, these are not armadas, so these are the officers that work. When the event comes up, there's sometimes a points event that also just shows what officers work. I'm going to show you quickly. These are the officers that work, that give extra points. There are other officers that work, obviously, Kim, below decks, etc. There's a bunch, but these are the 2 crews that I suggest. Yeah, so what you're going to want to do then, grab them, buff them both with a Cerritos, not Defiant. Defiant won't do anything on these. Buff them both with a Cerritos buff. Find either Fortius, do a little Fortify, or if someone's running a max Fortify, hop in on that, and then go grab your kills. Important thing to checklist before you kill. Before you start the thing, make sure you've got the right anti-charged or anti-static. Make sure your ships are buffed, and then use your Lorca Fist ability. This is crucial, by the way. Leveling this up is also very important. Use your Lorca Fist ability to get your maximum amount of damage output. So once a day, in the morning or in the evening, I do it in the morning. Use your daily fort. Set those 2 crews. I would suggest saving them. Set those 2 crews. Give them a quick fortify. Buff them both with Cerritos. Go to a Krenim solo. Use your Lorca ability and kill that. Anyway, that's me signing off. It's a bit of a long video about crewing, but I hope it helps, not just with this, but sort of just show how I go about crewing.